They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. This defense for the Jets, they certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and it's third down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Throwing again here, Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Here we go with Williams. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start by running the option to the right. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd down and 7. To throw is Wilson. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. Fielded at the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 27. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A give, running right is Hall. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The Jets had a disappointing 1-4 as they start play. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one. Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 37. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Play action. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos
at their own 28-yard line.
Here's Williams to start the drive.
Powering forward. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints him.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it.
Hamler now on the return.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Wilson.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Again, Wilson.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam now. Look at the big man rumble.
Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes as his guys are able to extend their lead. McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Brandon McManus, the kickoff for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Wilson.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Throwing right, and that's complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
41, Jets 3. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime. And looking for Mims, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. 20. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice to see an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Jets will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They motion the running back out left. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. That's going to be caught by Carter. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a short kick taken at about the 16.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go play action with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right.
And this one too low.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
Fields it right around the goal line. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. On the move to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And that will make this a 19-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Give to Hall running right. He'll take this to the 46. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Draymond Jones. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Lloyd. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Forced out to his left.
He'll go up top here for Hamler.
That's caught at the 25.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Lloyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Now Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Let's go. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on 3rd down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked him apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. There he goes left side. Past the 20, 10, 5.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game.
And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this... And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Michael Ojemudia.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the floor of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
After the sack on first down, Wilson steps away to his left. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Wilson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I had no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Denver, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the losses are piling up.